You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Jesus fucking Christ! Did Raw and SmackDown drop the ball, or was Captain Marvel worse? I don't know. I'm not going to spoil Captain Marvel for you, but I'm not going to say which one was worse. You can find that out this weekend. Also, the majority of the ring crew were at NXT Detroit for something special. We'll get into that and more. Plus, our pro wrestling scorecards picks for Fastlane this Sunday, the WWE Network. All that and more as we...
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
You just made the list! Oh, I knew he was gonna do that. I just knew he was gonna do that. He don't need Janetti. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Get some man! What the rock is cooking? Bulletproof for life, good bout, and good night.
They ain't got the answers. I change the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
You are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Big Dick Smith.
And me, the almighty one, Mikey himself. Short-handed show today. A couple sicknesses, a couple more people getting AIDS around here. It's getting crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting crazy with the AIDS. The AIDS.
Is summer 08 again? Is it summer 08? It's 18 again?
It's all the AIDS. Everyone's got AIDS.
You have AIDS.
There's a look. I'll be honest, man. With only two people and making some picks and everything, this might be a quick fucking show. I'm not going to argue it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot. What's crazy is there's so much to talk about this week. Things that aren't going on with the Fastlane pay-per-view that happened on Raw and SmackDown. Partnerships with AEW that were recently announced. And NXT Detroit was Sunday in Royal Oak, which is weird to call it NXT Detroit, but it's, 15 minutes away from the city, so tops at that. It's like...
That shit that pisses me off when you call it Detroit, but you're not actually Detroit.
Man, see, I'm all right with it because if you go out of town and let's say you don't actually live in Detroit, but you live in like 15, 20, 30 minutes away, like someone that lives in Roseville, if they go down out of town. I live in
Dearborn. I get the concept, but it's still annoying.
But that's only because you're stupid and you just want to get mad about it. That's how people recognize it. That's what what area of the state that they're in. They don't say Detroit when they're in Grand fucking Rapids, so it'd be different if it was that. It's fucking 3.5 miles away. It's 11 mile and Main Street, 4 miles from fucking 8 Mile.
And you got to feel that way because you kind of live in between.
Right. Yeah, now I do. But anyway, so yeah, NXT Detroit was this last Sunday that just passed, the March 3rd, I want to say.
3rd.
Yeah. And man, it was fucking fun. There's a few things that happened that we'll get into for the show itself of NXT. And if anyone who has followed any of our social media at BDRcast on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, we made some posts and everything, showed some of the photos that we had. But I have to admit, man, as a dad, this was the first time I took the kid to an NXT show. And in taking her to the NXT show, obviously with our good friend Lindsay, friend of the show, Lindsay, she makes sure that we get some really good tickets. You know, pay for them. It's not like we're going for free or anything. I would be wonderful if anyone wants to sponsor us to go to WWE events. We pay for them, pay the same price anyone else pays, no discounts or anything like that. But she hooks us up with the tickets, so it's like front row. And we're right there when all the superstars are coming out and things like that. And my kid was so fucking excited, dude. She got to smack so many hands. Mia Yim, fucking Roderick Strong, you know, dude, like fucking Ricochet, Gargano, Keith Lee. You know, it's really cool, man. It was really cool. So how happy and excited she was for this. And after all of that, like there was this one time, so Roddy comes out and he's challenging
Dream.
No,
Was it Dream?
Roderick Strong. No, Cole took on Dream. Roderick Strong ended up taking on Keith Lee because he was like, "Hey, you know, I run this stuff. All the people here at, you know, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are going to take the tag titles back. You know, Adam Cole's going to, you know, fighting for the North American title tonight and everything." He's like, I'm going to fight someone too. Well, you know, he comes out that, but as he's entering, you know, he does the Undisputed Era thing. My kid sticks her hand out, and he goes, get her hand, and he goes, oh, you know, the whole, oh, shit. And I'm like, that was pure heel. I'm like, holy fuck, that was
Fuck
awesome.
the kids.
But my kid was like.
Not R. Kelly fuck the kids, but fuck
yeah.
the kids.
My kid was like, and he's like, nah, just kidding. And he smacked her hand. Like, and I was like, that was the most dad thing ever, too, from Roderick Strong. Right? Because you know he's a new dad.
And he's a new dad.
And, I mean, like,
it's
about
Jessamine
a year.
Duke, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But it's funny because, so, he's like, yeah. He smacks her hand. And then he comes back around and he throws me a wink and he tosses the Undisputed Era dog tags to me. So I give them to the kid, you know, because that's what it was for. He was like, toss it for the kid. Dude, she was just playing with those things the whole fucking time, watching Roderick Strong's match. She's like,
She got a new favorite?
Dude, she's doing the fucking Undisputed Era thing. She's out there like this. And I'm like, dude, she's like, Dad, I may have a new favorite over there. That's backwards, idiot.
No, not.
No, that's backwards.
I kind of.
That's all right.
I've had a bad day.
It's
Leave me
okay.
alone.
So, so she's like, Dad, I think someone might be my favorite over AJ Styles. I was like, yeah. She's like, the Undisputed Era. Like, the whole fucking crew.
The whole
crew, dude.
Fish,
Strong. Because, and then it didn't even stop with that. So, Fish and Kyle O'Reilly come out later to fight the War Raiders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And Bobby Fish is hilarious.
Oh, Kyle O'Reilly is hilarious.
But hold on, man. So, like, Kyle's in there, and he's like, Bobby starts it off, and he's like, hey, ref, tell him to back up. Goes in the ropes, just arguing and everything. Then he finally tags in Kyle O'Reilly. He's like, it's your turn. Your fucking turn. I'm the one who, So Kyle's in there, and he's getting his ass beat. And just Bobby just screaming at the top. He's like, ref, stop that. He's my friend. He's hurting my friend. What the hell? Why are you just letting him do that? Come on. Oh, ref, get it. He's not allowed to hold him. Like, all he was holding his hand so he couldn't get the tag. And Bobby's like, he can't grab his hand like that. Stop this. It was great. And then, of course, when they get both in, they start doing their double team moves on the War Raiders and everything. They start hitting him in the corner, and it's like O'Reilly does it, and then Fish is like, my turn, and he runs and he hits him, and then O'Reilly's like, well, now it's my turn, and he goes back and hit. Dude, it was great. It's
Super Mario Brothers wrestling style.
The whole fucking crowd was laughing and loving it. So my kid's sitting there crying, laughing, and everything. Then Adam Cole comes out, and he loses to Dream for the North American title. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly obviously lost. And at the end of it, Undisputed Era, like he starts beating up Dream, and then Undisputed Era comes out, and they all start fucking beating up Dream. Well, then Ricochet comes out, and they start beating up Ricochet. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Ricochet. It was
Keith Lee.
No, no. Yes, Keith Lee did come out, but War Raiders came out first.
Okay, War Raiders.
Because they were all like, yeah, they beat him up, and they're creeping in the back, and then the War Raiders music hits, and then they get him out, and they start fighting him a little bit, and War Raiders music hits. And then they start creeping back around the ring, and they go to escape on the one side of the barricade. And then all of a sudden, Ricochet's music hits. Well, Ricochet's coming in from the fucking crowd. And then like, oh no! So they go back to the other side of the ring, and they're trying to creep out on that side of the ring. And all of a sudden, Aleister Black's music hits, and he fucking lays up from the. It's like someone in the crowd lifted his ass with like his normal regular entrance. And I was like, oh shit! So then, yeah, Keith Lee and everything had to come out and everything, and they ended up beating the shit out of Undisputed Era.
I think Keith Lee's one of the next big faces in NXT right now.
I think it'd be a smart idea for him. So, Undisputed Era gets their ass kicked, and they go off into the back. My kid, right, she just became a huge fan of Undisputed Era. All the good guys are in the ring, and she's just sitting there, thumbs down. Boo, boo. Velveteen Dream catches it. Right, and as I'm looking at my kid, going, "Kid, you don't want to boo right now. These are all the these are all the good guys. Like, you know, I mean, obviously, I get they're your favorites, but these are the good guys that you're gonna want to cheer all the time." But as I'm saying that, Dream catches her thumb down, and her going, "No, I'm not a fan." And he leans forward and he goes, "Are you booing the good guys? You're too pretty to boo the good guys."
Velveteen.
It was, and so she's just sitting there all happy and shit, dude. And I'm just sitting there looking at her, knowing that my kid literally just fell in love with wrestling. Like, she's liked it, Dad's been showing her and stuff, but now she fell in love because these guys are guys that she sees on TV that are all like, oh, they fucking love me. So it was, I honestly can't say enough about how much this fucking was as a dad, you know, just as a fucking
also like, that story was like, when you said she, like, you know, you have a true wrestling fan at a young age when they start to cheer for the bad guys.
Right.
And, like, I realized I was a true fan when I started cheering for bad guys. I'm not gonna lie, I was probably like 13 or 14 when I realized that, you know what, I started relating with some of the bad guys in storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like, that's when you know, you say your child is young.
Right.
Was she 10, right?
Yeah.
And she fell in love with this industry at a young age.
Yeah.
And that's something special for you as a fan and you as a father.
Right.
You have something that you could probably relate with your daughter to for the rest of your life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. I've done with that. You know. So I wasn't seeing any comments or anything like that on the one Periscope broadcast. I have to figure something out, but I can now see it. Dez from Pro Wrestling Scorecard was like, she says, so jealous of our seats. Daniel always gets seats far away. That's the first comment I've seen. So if anyone was talking or anything saying hi, sorry, we haven't said anything to anyone watching the video.
Also, I saw the video for the post-show thing with you guys in the background that 3 Counts and Knockouts posted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, it was great.
It was like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm so pissed that everything going on in my life just fucked me over, and that's why I couldn't go, so...
I will. It's fine. I will say this, like Daniel commented and said that they're not made of money. Those tickets are actually pretty cheap, man. Because of where it is and stuff like that. It's kind of like, because I saw they had tickets for Impact, Daniel and Dez. So whatever, I'm guaranteeing you, if you guys paid like $50 to $60, our tickets were $77.50 a pop. So I spent $145 on 2 tickets. You know, it wasn't too bad. You know, obviously it's great. The only thing that it saved money on, I guess, were I didn't have to pay box office fees. But if you go to any box office rather than purchasing online, you never pay box office fees. So it's not like it was anything that broke me. But man, I literally fucking I can't say enough about this. You know, you said it yourself. When you start cheering bad guys, that should become a real good fan. But it's not just that they were bad guys, because I guarantee you, had Roddy not given those dog tags right away, because he was also the first person to slap her hand, like 3rd match in. Had he not given those dog tags, she wouldn't have been Undisputed Era at all. And when we went and bought merch, I told her, I was like, hey, you can have whatever you want. She was really sad that all of the first signing thing with all the Undisputed Era, those posters, were gone. And she was like, well, can I get a Shock the System hat? And I was like, oh, you're real fucking 100% into these motherfuckers, huh? Yeah, for sure.
She's all in, no puns intended.
It was fucking great, man. And I will say that,
here's a little killer here.
Yeah, shout to the kid.
Shout to the kid.
I will say this, what was also cool about it is Walt, good friend of the show, he was there with his sons, and fucking Wyatt and Connor were just enamored, you know, and that's crazy for a 1 and a 4-year-old.
1 and 4.
Yeah, just to be sitting there enamored into it. Nick, this is his first NXT show, man. Co-host Nick, and he fucking loved it.
So my thing is like I've seen NXT in its embryonic stages. The only NXT show I've seen live was when it was in embryonic stages, right after when they first started touring, and I got like a dirt shit cheap ticket, and I've not seen anything of NXT since it's blown up to what it's become, and that makes and me as a fan of NXT, and I think I'm pretty much the residential NXT guy here almost.
To an extent, yeah.
And it makes me so angry that the last 2 events that have been here, I've not been able to go.
3.
Oh yeah, 3.
So here's what's also crazy: a year before NXT, Z and I were there. That's when we first saw Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black, the return show for that.
Oh, yeah,
one.
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a year ago.
A year ago, yeah.
And then we got that photo of Lacey Evans that she ended up putting on her social media. And then it was a couple months ago, it's like every 6 months they show. So then 6 months after that is the show that the first show I was at with the front row where Lindsay was able to go for the first time and things like that. Dude, it was fucking great, man. It was fucking wonderful. My other highlight so there's 2 highlights of
I
this
saw
show.
you guys' pictures. No, fucking awesome.
So Rhea Ripley comes out, and I fucking mark, right? Because I
love Rhea Ripley too,
dude.
man.
My firm belief on Rhea Ripley is she is so good as a wrestler.
And she's 24.
22.
22?
She is 22 years old.
Oh, wow. Who's
And
24 I'm thinking of?
as good as probably Tony,
Okay.
as good as she is at 22 years old.
Did you just dream like 22 as well?
In the long run, Rhea Ripley is probably going to be one of the best wrestlers of all time. Not just women's wrestlers.
She gets the business.
I have a feeling that she is going to go down as better than Charlotte, better than Becky, all of these people that are top fucking stars right now. Because you got to think about it, man. Everything's elevated. Sure, there was a little dip there after the Attitude Era where it was a lot of diva stuff, but the greatness that Trish and Lita were, and Molly Holly and everyone, and Beth Phoenix and everything, because even
Victoria.
Beth Phoenix is around that, and all of that time, it's just escalating. Because now you see Becky and Charlotte and
Sasha,
even Ronda,
Bayley.
Sasha, Bayley. These ladies are spectacular. Still a little off, a little bit compared to what the men are doing, but again, it's different. We have constantly said on this show that there is a complete difference in female athletes
It's a
to
180.
male athletes, but in wrestling, it should not be like that because it's the only one that you can elevate. Down the line, I honestly feel like Rhea Ripley could be another one of these girls
Another China?
that might wrestle fucking at the main event of WrestleMania. I could see that, her being that good, you know?
And honestly, I see Rhea Ripley as one of those people like there are a lot of superstars on social media talking about let's do more actual intergender stuff. Mm-hmm. I can see Rhea Ripley being like the China of the next generation, where she's going to be breaking that mold with intergender stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
If it's not Nia Jax, it's going to be Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, easily, 100%. And then the other thing was at the end of it, everyone beating up Undisputed Era and stuff like that. It was Aleister Black and Ricochet's swan song. They said it. They said it might be the last time that they do a live event for NXT. You never know. It was basically their call-up is what I'm taking. Now, granted, it was kind of weird coming to watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown after that, and we'll get into a little bit about that later. But it was great, man, hearing them talk and thank the crowd and saying NXT's in good hands, with people
like Keith Lee,
and they were literally
and
talking about
Velveteen
everyone
Dream.
in the ring. Because
They talk about John. I may have missed it. Did they mention Johnny? Because I think Johnny's been called
Johnny
up
was in
too.
the ring. So
yeah, I know he was in
but
the
you
ring.
keep cutting me off, so I can't tell the whole story. So Ricochet is talking about that NXT is in good hands with people like Johnny Gargano, people like the War Raiders, people like Keith Lee, people like Matt Riddle, who wasn't there, but also people like Velveteen Dream and things like that. And they were just, all they did was put over, they did their swan song. And so because of that for me hit more than almost anything except for the stuff with my kid. Anyway, the Rhea Ripley coming out when I'm doing her entrance and shit, she fucking whips her hair in my face. And it just splashes and everything.
And how much did you jizz your pants for that?
I didn't, dude. Like, I think Rhea Ripley's an incredibly attractive woman, but it's more of a respect issue on that one. So seeing her single me out, because when she was doing it, she did the fucking stomp. I was doing it. I was sitting there right there. I stomped with her and everything, and I saw a smirk. And what I appreciated about that is she was like, holy shit, I'm still kind of new. This motherfucker right here knows, and I saw the whip and the splash and the hair in my face as a sign of respect. And that was awesome.
Once again, lots of these people from the UK, I watch Progress. That's the reason I know a lot of people from the UK, from the NXT UK brand.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, Rhea Ripley is just one of those incredible talents. That's what, she was one of the people when I found out she was signed to NXT UK. Mm-hmm. She was one of the 3 people I was excited. I was excited when they signed Jenny. I was excited when they signed Tony Storm, and I was excited when they signed Rhea Ripley, because those are the 3 women that I identified with them from the UK brand, from watching stuff like Progress and ICW over there. And that was so Rhea Ripley. Where Rhea Ripley is in WWE right now, for me, is astonishing, especially how young she is.
Yeah.
It is kind of like the way I feel about guys like Tyler Bate and Velveteen Dream, like as young as they are. I'm damn near 30, and at this point, these kids they're kids to me at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I think Dream is 22, 23? And,
something like that, yeah.
And then you got Rhea Ripley, we just mentioned, is 22 years old. Yeah. And these are kids to me at this point now. It's like
you're an old ass man, dog.
I'm not old yet. I don't consider being old till I'm 45. That's my mindset. These young people, I see the WWE in great hands where they are, because I think the one person I think is close to me that I'm a fan of that's fresh to WWE is guys like Keith Lee, and Keith Lee's like slightly older than I am.
Yeah,
I think Keith Lee's like 32 or 33 or something like that. And I'm excited about where the WWE can go from here. Yeah. Whether it's developmental, because we all know these guys are eventually going to be called up to Raw, SmackDown. Yeah. I'm excited for the future of WWE at this point.
Yeah, me too.
Because I watched the video when Ricochet said about NXT's in good hands. Not just NXT is in good hands. Right. The WWE is in good hands with these people.
Yeah, they are. The future of WWE is pretty solid with everything that they have coming up from NXT. Anything they seem to be pulling in, it's a good look for them. There's a lot of things that are going on right now that confuse, that upset us, but it's still things that we're all emotionally invested in, and that's a great tie-in to what I want to lead into. The first thing from WWE is the older guys are kind of giving it to guys that are a little bit younger than them, but then it's going to be a turnover. SmackDown Live had probably the best match on WWE television this week with the Fatal 4-Way United States Championship with R-Truth coming out doing the U.S. Open Challenge again because he wants to be like his mentor, idol, John Cena.
And, you know what makes me laugh about that so much? It's the fact that Truth is so much older than Cena.
Yeah. So Truth says it's his idol and he wants him. And
childhood idol.
Yeah, childhood idol, John Cena. And then Carmella's like, well, he's never going to, he says never give up. He also says you can't see me, so I don't know why I got to keep doing this. Damn you, John Cena. He goes, well, the U.S. Open Challenge starts now after, of course, the 7-second dance break. First answered by Samoa Joe. Nope.
Lacey Evans came out first.
That's not what I don't care about that. Samoa Joe comes out to answer the challenge first. Then Rey Mysterio comes out. Then Andrade comes out again. Well, the ref announces it's going to be a fatal 4-way. This is now the second time in 2 weeks that Truth has had to take his U.S. Open Challenge against more than one person. Last week was the triple threat. This week, the fatal 4-way. And at the end of this match, I think the only thing that could have happened that would made the crowd, the only thing that would have happened that made the crowd pop harder than Truth retaining is what happened. And it's Samoa Joe is your brand new United States champion.
And it's about goddamn time because we've wanted this for so long.
Oh, yeah. 100%. So Samoa Joe now working as the United States champion, cuts a promo backstage, talking about all these people are, worried about their, if the fear of me keeps them up, keeps them awake at night. Well, don't worry. Here I come. I'm going to put you night-night. It's like, Samoa fucking Joe, man.
Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens on SmackDown on the mic this week were just gold.
Gold, 100%. And I can't say anything enough about the promo cutting, but let's also talk about that match. It almost ended at one point the same way the week before ended. Mysterio hitting something on someone and Truth getting a roll-up. Got taken out, then Zelina Vega hits him with that fucking Hurricane.
With that beautiful Hurricane,
right.
too.
And then, of course,
Carmella taking Vega
super
out.
kick, boom.
That was probably the best super kick Carmella's ever put throughout her entire WWE career.
Hey, man, she's good.
No, we've always said it. She's probably one of the most progressively gotten better people
She's
in WWE.
severely underrated in WWE. Did you just fall?
I put the chair down a little bit more than I wanted to.
Well, fix it because you look all weird on camera now. Like, stand up.
I know. Here we go.
Anyone who is listening live.
I was a little bit too tall.
Listening. No, you were perfect. You were exactly, that's why I had you set up in that. Anyone who's listening, Smitty decided to lower himself in the chair. And so it got all weird and shit. Samoa Joe, man. How long do you think he holds this belt? Do you think he holds it past Mania?
Yes, and because literally, this is more so me. This is me doing. I call it a Mikey thing, but I think I'm overthinking it here.
Oh, really?
So I think because the U.S. title over the last 6-8 months has been kind of irrelevant because it's kind of been when they put it on Nakamura and they put it on Rusev and everybody else has been on, but even Truth, even though I knew Truth was a transitional champion, it seemed like it was just floating around. So you found somebody to make the title relevant again, and Joe's that guy.
Okay.
So I see Joe with at least 3 to 6 months with the title.
3 to 6.
Yeah,
So you think he can hold this all the way to SummerSlam?
possibly.
Okay. Who do you think could be built to take it off of him?
Think about the SmackDown roster right now. What you got with a 3-6 month time span, you could build somebody off there. Honestly, maybe depending on because Ricochet and Aleister Black have been on both shows, they can kind of put them as a hodgepodge tag team. One of those guys eventually, because I think they're going to probably split them either before or after Mania.
Okay.
One of those guys possibly, depending on who goes where.
I would like to see something like an Aleister Black take it.
But as I said,
Yeah.
Aleister Black or Ricochet.
I think Ricochet is going to be a good fit on Raw for a little bit. I would like he can work the mid card Raw time, and then at some point I want to see Aleister eventually go to Raw and challenge for the big titles and everything.
We
like
also
that.
know there's a superstar shakeup coming up, so there's
True.
also that.
But I think with the current setup right now, obviously Roman's back, right? And because Roman's back, there's eventually he's going to come into this title, universal title picture.
To the top tier.
And it might be a really long run. It could be a couple months, and then him floating and everything back and forth. He said it the week before that he's not about titles, and when he came out this week, he swerved everyone, making us think that he was going to go for a title. Excuse me, and he didn't, and that's fine.
By the way, that's one. When we get to our score, going to our scorecard, that's one of the reasons I got into my picks.
That's fine. We're going to talk about all these matches on the scorecard. Obviously, Samoa Joe is not on there, and that's why we're talking about that first. So I think that'll be a good fit for Ricochet in that mid-card area because with Balor being the Intercontinental Champion now, and obviously it can float through some of the other guys in that mid-card range.
Which I think mid-card is still kind of lacking.
I think Ricochet going there would be a build to it. I think anything that they do with Finn Balor and this belt is a good thing. That's why I would like to see Aleister go to SmackDown because he's another strong guy, and his kick could be something that takes out Joe. Something like that. So I think it's a good play right now, especially
Samoa submission machine versus one of the strongest strikers in a long time in WWE.
I would like to see that. I think those are two really good areas, and then eventually possibly switch. You never know. See how that goes. What were we going to say?
We'll say my thing is pretty much superstar shakeup coming up after Mania, which is when you asked back to your original question was like, who do you think taking it off of him? let's say my initial is either Black or Ricochet, but it's also depending on what comes after the Superstar shakeup after Mania.
Right.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It's a very strong possibility with that. So, all right, we're gonna go into one more news source. We haven't really talked much about this wrestling company in a minute.
I was like, well, wait, NXT. We're gonna talk about what's gonna eventually happen with NXT right now.
Oh, the news for yes, we'll go into that. So, AEW is apparently now have a working relationship with Lucha Underground. This coming from
That makes me so happy.
calm down. This coming from their superstar Sonny Kiss. So this is coming from Wrestling
I like
Inc.,
Sonny Kiss.
written by Ross Kelly. And I'll just read the article. AEW Double or Nothing card is slowly starting to fill out, and the event will mark the return of Over the Budget Battle Royal. Just a couple of names have been announced so far for the match, but one of those is Sonny Kiss. Kiss has worked for both Lucha Underground and Capital Wrestling, and he joined our Winkley podcast, Wrestling Inc. podcast, to discuss how his AEW signing came about. And he goes, I was speechless, first of all. I knew for quite a bit before it was announced, but I had to keep it a secret. I was overwhelmed, overjoyed, every amazing emotion you can think of. I'm so excited to be a part of something so groundbreaking, and I thank Cody and Brandy and the Bucks and everybody for just believing in me. I met the story of how this end quote. The story of how every wrestler got their big break is unique, and Kiss's story is so 2019 as it came via a common social media practice.
Yeah.
Quote, I met Brandy a few times and she shot her shot. She slid into my DMs. Yeah, it was Brandy who was the one who reached out. Revealed Kiss. With Kiss being affiliated with both Lucha Underground and Capital Wrestling, Brandy also wanted to make sure that Kiss would be available to work for AEW. He goes, I don't want to talk too much, but it was more along the lines of how anyone would approach or inquire about signing someone already under contract. You approach them, seeing if they're able to work without any conflict. We were able to settle that, and that's how it went. And he goes, end quote. Speaking of Lucha Underground, Kiss also talked about his current status with the company and rumors that the show may not return for season 5. He said, at the moment, I will simultaneously be with AEW and Lucha Underground. They have a partnership going on, so it does make it easier to be with both. It's just for the time being, but we'll see what happens. Now, that's crazy, because that hasn't been announced. So it's like an accidental slip by Sonny Kiss that just broke news. And now fucking Cody and Bucks and Brandy are probably like, what the fuck are you doing? Probably not.
Okay,
Probably not.
but you know, I think it's a good slip to a certain degree because
Right.
I am a fan of Lucha Underground. I'm a fan of Sonny Kiss because like via Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
And like you also know me, I have my massive like I'm happy for black wrestlers.
Yep.
And I'm progressive about who you are. Like Sonny Kiss is an openly gay guy, whatever.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Sonny Kiss is gay as hell.
Whatever. You hated Velveteen Dream for a while.
And I didn't think not because he was gay.
Yeah, it was totally because he was effeminate. Whatever.
No, so my hate with Velveteen Dream was I hate the whole rip off a Prince gimmick, but it grew on me.
Yeah, like his dick.
So the thing about Sonny Kiss is one of those unique type characters, like you said about Velveteen Dream. He's a peacock in a world of wrestling where peacocks are rare.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a peacock in a different way than Velveteen Dream. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, shrug, shrug.
Gross.
So, I like Sonny Kiss. I discovered Sonny Kiss via Lucha Underground, so I went back and looked at some of his other stuff. And Sonny Kiss is one of those guys, like, I can see something going with him because how unique he is as a character.
Mm-hmm.
But then this whole Lucha Underground leak, and honestly, there's one person that makes me so happy about this. It frees up Ivelisse. And I love Ivelisse. Ivelisse has worked with Impact. Ivelisse has worked with WWE during the Tough Enough bullcrap. Like the bullcrap Tough Enough stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ivelisse is also, her current contract is with Lucha Underground. She's worked for a while as a stable La Cicada.
Okay.
And I am a huge fan of Ivelisse. This whole leak with working with Lucha Underground, it frees up Ivelisse to work for AEW. And Ivelisse is one of my favorite female wrestlers over the last decade. And that is why I'm really excited about this.
Decade, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
And Ivelisse, I love Ivelisse. end all be all for this whole week.
That's your number one. That's your girl. That's
my
your Jesus Christ. Put it in my butt. Would
Not
you
in
let her
the
put
butt.
it in your butt?
I'll put it in her butt.
Would you let her put it in your butt?
Maybe a pinky.
Fucking gay. Knew it, you son of a bitch.
Maybe the pinky, because I love her
What's
so
up,
much.
October Magic? Saying hi to everybody who says hi to us on the Periscope. Again, guys, if you're listening, you can watch live 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. BDR Cast on Periscope, on Twitter. You can watch live as we're doing this show. Next bit of news, biggest news of the week, breaking news as of today, Wednesday. It was announced that Tommaso Ciampa, the current NXT champion, is going to be undergoing neck surgery
Tomorrow.
that's going to take him out of the game for months, if not a year.
8 to 12 months.
So, that being said, obviously NXT is a tape show. NXT, first off,
we gotta have NXT spoiler at this point.
that's what I'm about to say. If you're listening and you don't want to be spoiled about NXT, because we're gonna talk about it a little bit,
Cover your ears.
come back in about 5 minutes, or if you see on the video, download your own scorecard now. Then you know we're making our picks and we're done talking about this because that's next. The Dusty Classic is back. Tag team versus tag team. DIY is together for this. They win their first round and they face Aleister Black and Ricochet in the second round.
Oh, yeah, they beat Undisputed Era.
Again, let me continue talking.
Okay, sorry.
They go to the second round where they face Aleister Black and Ricochet. They lose. As they're going up the ramp, Candice and Tommaso helping Johnny up. Tommaso goes to turn on Johnny again. Johnny reverses it, throws him into the
LED board.
The LED board, a la what Tommaso did to him the first time.
Which I'm so pissed because I saw this storyline unfolding so long ago.
Which is beautiful. Problem is, Tommaso suffered a neck injury after that. I don't know when. I don't know where.
He performed with a neck injury for 3 months, apparently.
Really?
According to Meltzer.
Jesus, man.
He was trying to power it. He said apparently he's been trying to power through until after the whole Mania season, and then dropped the title before he did whatever.
Right. So NXT has a lot to fix because it was set up to be Gargano versus Ciampa again at the WrestleMania at the Brooklyn show.
At the
for
Brooklyn
NXT.
show, and Gargano becomes the first Triple Crown champion of NXT.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, that's probably what it was going to be. But now Tommaso is out. So Johnny might have a case at it. What are you thinking might be the unfolding factor here that happens to, you think a tournament?
Tournament.
Is there enough time for a tournament? If they
There
keep
is.
up, really?
Because they have everything recorded up to how long? The semis of the Dusty Classic?
Yeah, I think 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks?
So they have 2 weeks of show to film before NXT.
No, if that's the case,
There's not enough time for a tournament.
not enough time for a tournament. At that point,
I could see.
it'd be Cole versus. They're gonna do something to set up Cole versus Gargano for a vacant championship.
I would like to see that. That's who I would like to see.
Well, like I'm just thinking, like logically, who's at the top of your NXT card? Who's gonna draw for your NXT card? For the NXT championship, if he's gonna vacate the championship,
He has to.
he has to. And your 2 top stars, even though right now they're literally promoting Johnny as a tweener,
Right.
they're gonna make him go back to full baby face.
Yeah.
Have Cole as your top heel in NXT, as your heel, and those guys are within a 2 or 3 week period are gonna earn their rights to become NXT champion. And I see at NXT Brooklyn, it can either work 1 or 2 ways. Cole becomes NXT champion, or Johnny Gargano becomes your first ever Triple Crown champion.
So what this is looking like with Black in tonight's NXT, the March 6th edition of NXT was Black and Ricochet defeating Eichner and Barthel. This is not spoilers. This has all been
It's already pre-taped.
Yeah,
I already know that.
So in DIY defeated Undisputed Era. So next week is the time. So that means next week is the 13th. So that means you have 1, 2, 3 shows. Now, it's very possible that they can do a tournament in 3 shows, but they already have. The other problem is they already have a tournament going on.
They have a tournament going on with Dusty Rhodes. I get it.
So my thought process is here is maybe one of these weeks, both of these, the 2 of the 3 weeks, the first 2 weeks, possible 2 fatal 4-ways to get to your top 2 contenders.
That works more for an NXT format.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can have some sort of contract signing or something for the week before.
With NXT format and the way that it could work that way because the way NXT is kind of run.
Right. So, but you're thinking Cole versus Gargano?
I'm thinking Cole versus Gargano.
Now who takes it?
So my thing is, I think Ciampa's injury may hinder Gargano's come up to the main roster to a certain degree, unless they shoot him to 205.
Which I think I'd be all right with because I think it'd be a great with Triple H still running it. I think Gargano would pretty much get over pretty heavily.
He'll get over no matter where he goes. So I think Gargano becomes the first Triple Crown champion. And that gives him something when he actually
You think he wins? So you're thinking he still takes it Mania weekend?
I think he'll take a Mania weekend just because of because of the Ciampa injury.
Okay.
Outside of that, I think he was going to take it no matter what. It become the first Triple Crown champion.
All right.
Because it finishes off a story that's been 3-4 years in the making now. 3.5 years in the making. So I figured him after he wins the North American Championship, what's the biggest staple you can give somebody at NXT at this point?
So you think? Hold on though. Now let me think. Now let me ask you this. Let's say Cole gets it. Is he the first Triple Crown winner? He has defended as a tag team champion.
He has defended, but he lost. Yeah. They did the Freebird rule. Once again, you got 2 guys that can.
Damn, dude. If it's Cole versus Gargano, whoever wins
is the first ever Triple Crown champion of NXT.
Wow. And you think you give that to Gargano?
I think you give it to Gargano because Gargano's been there longer.
Oh man, I don't know.
Once again, this is my Mikey overthinking.
Right.
Now you're doing a Mikey overthink.
No, my thought process is you give it to Cole. Cole's the biggest name.
So Cole's the biggest name at that point, but who's at that point? Who do you build up outside of Keith Lee until Dream drops?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. You got fucking Roderick Strong taking that North American title at some point because I could totally see them giving all the gold to Undisputed Era.
All of it.
All of it.
Pulling Evolution on Undisputed Era.
They've been talking about it like crazy for the last 3-4 months. That 2019 Undisputed Era is going to hold all the gold in NXT.
Well, they kind of almost had all the gold last year when Cole became the first ever North American champion.
Yeah, they had all but 1 title. Now there's 4 guys.
I don't think they're going to pull that trigger. I think Trips is smart enough to let good be good. I mean, let good enough be good enough. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I think that because of their merch sales, dude, they're fucking smelling off like crazy.
Yeah, they're probably one of the highest merch sellers in the company right now.
I think they take it. I think they eventually get all of them. Every one of them.
You think they pull Evolution?
Yeah. I don't think it's just an Evolution, though. Hasn't other people fucking all stables have all the titles?
Nope, NWO never did it. And the funny thing is, so when Evolution did this, I did my own research, and I hate doing research too long when I don't have to.
But even hold on. But even Evolution didn't have all the titles. At
yes,
the time.
oh, they had all the Raw titles. Randy Orton held the Intercontinental.
Okay, all the Raw titles. They didn't have that's different. You know what I'm saying? This is all the Raw titles is way different than all of the titles in your specific. I guess no, because it's all brand split now.
It's all brand.
Yeah. No, I see him doing it. I see him doing it at least for 3 months. I see them running it. I from one takeover to the next.
I was literally gonna break down the whole evolution. Like,
Yeah, I can see him taking it from takeover to the next. I can see them even if it's from Mania to Chicago, where there's like the small little 2-month run.
I don't, and my thing, I don't see that just because, like, I think Trips is a great businessman when it comes to the business, but I think he's still, as himself, still a wrestler at heart. He wants to preserve some of his legacy. And the one thing he's going to preserve is the fact that he's one of the only stables in WWE to hold all the titles on a brand at one time.
But it doesn't matter. It's NXT. And regardless of
whose baby is it?
Huh? Exactly. It's his baby, and that's why it would be perfect for him to pass that off. Because no matter what he does, yeah, he might be a wrestler at heart and want to hold on to his stuff, but he also knows how to transfer things, how to give up, how to put people over. And he's done that.
Of course. But I still think part of him still wants to keep up something of his.
Okay, we have to move on. And there's actually one more thing that we have to talk about, and because of Triple H, you reminded me. Monday Night Raw. Triple H came out and cut a promo. It's nothing about this fast lane, so there's nothing to talk about with it on the card of predictions, but we are going to talk about it now. Triple H's promo, what did it do for you, Smitty?
Triple H's promo is probably one of the best ones he's done in the last couple of years. And it actually gives me a little bit more interest inside the upcoming Mania match that's bound to happen.
I think it made it way more personal.
Let's say that's why it gave me a little bit more interest.
To the point where
he said, "You're not talking to Triple H the character." He didn't even say his name, whatever.
I would have loved for him to use his shoot name in it.
You just say, like, you're not talking to Triple H, you're talking to Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted my attention, you have Paul's attention. Like, at the end of it. Like, just at the end of it. He called him Dave the whole time. He mentioned how Ric Flair, he's like, it's Richard Fleer, so on and so forth. And it's just, man.
The only thing you're right. The only thing that would shot that promo over if he used his actual name
at the end of it. Yeah. And all he needed to do was at the end of it, because he was calling him Dave the whole fucking time. And he was talking about Richard.
And he said Richard like 4 or 5 times too. Yeah.
Man, yeah. I think.
But it's like it gave you slight more interest into this upcoming Mania match is bound to happen.
All right, now let me ask you this. Was that the best promo on Raw? The only other one that I'm fucking referring to is Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the best promo. What is Ronda now? Okay.
Ronda's a close second.
Close second. All right, we'll get into that when we get into this fucking picks. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can get your own Fastlane scorecard at Pro Wrestling Scorecards on fucking Twitter at PW Scorecards. Go get your own. You see some of my picks already right there. Smitty's showing off some of his, kind of. Can't really see it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go, remember, you could go to PW Scorecards on Twitter. Get your own fucking scorecard. Nick sent his in. I have his picks.
You got Z's? Because he said he sent his in.
I don't have Z's. I don't need Joe's because Joe is the champion. He's going to go last no matter what. And remember,
fuck you queer. I put KWEER on our chat.
Yeah, okay. The thing with this is the final picks to figure scores before we go and face the Pro Wrestling Scorecards crew again for WrestleMania weekend.
Glutton for punishment, aren't you?
It's me. I was asking about it because I want to redeem myself.
So you're
the only son of a bitch that has lost the last 2 times. We went 3-2, 4-1. I was part of the 2. I was the only one. I was the 1 in 4-1. That's not good because when Brock Lesnar was the 1 in 21-1, that was an awesome 1. Mine is a shitty 1. I need redemption. I need to not be the guy that, if we go 4-1, that's fine as long as you're the 1, Smitty, or Z, or Nick.
What the fuck do you mean? I get the biggest wins out of us.
Fuck you. You were never the number 1 scorer against them at all. Deal with it.
I'm the comeback kid of them.
You're coming all over someone's fucking face. That's what you're doing.
Goddamn right, because that's what they deserve.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick that we're making our Fastlane picks right now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages of the audience, hopefully no children will listen to us because you're fucked up parents if you ever listen. If you let your children listen to us.
Or I'm your dad. Hi, Kayla. That's so bad.
Hey, Kayla, you my nigga.
Wigga.
Yeah. She be ignorant she want to be.
So, all right, I have Nick's picks. Yours. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with Nick, then you, then me. Okay.
Well, fuck you, Z, you fucking queer.
Dude, calm down. So Nick, Smitty, me. Then Nick, Nick, Smitty, me. Nick, Smitty, me, Nick. All right.
We got PW guys or no?
Nope, I don't have anything from them. I was going to ask them if they wanted to come on the show, but I knew there was a lot to talk about before. And I know Daniel's been busting his ass at work, and so I didn't want to bug them about that. But again, I know if any of them are listening, I think Dez is paying attention right now. You guys are more than welcome to call in if you want to do some picks with us. But we're going to start with Nick's picks. Dez hasn't picked yet, she said, so she can't call in. The first match is Rey Mysterio versus Andrade with Zelina Vega. This stemming from that fatal four-way that happened because Andrade proceeded to beat up Rey a little bit after the match. This is the kickoff match. 3 extras, pin, submission, counter, or DQ. Number of aerial moves, plus or minus 1. Again, for anyone listening, paying attention, aerial moves are, Des says hi. Aerial moves are anything that's off the turnbuckle or off, over, through the ropes. It does not need to connect. Nick's picks for this is he has Rey by pinfall, 8 aerial moves, and yes, the match bell time will be over 10 minutes. Bell to bell, over 10 minutes. Smitty, what do you got?
I actually have Andrade winning by pinfall, 6 aerial moves, and yes, for match time, bell to bell, 10 minutes.
I have Andrade also winning by pinfall, 7 for the aerial moves, and the match time bell to bell over 10 minutes. I of course have yes. How are you? What are you feeling about this match, man? Is this another? Fuck yeah! I can't wait to watch them wrestle again.
So every time I see them, like they have not overdone this yet to a certain degree. They've kept it spaced apart enough to where I'm not bored with it, but I'm not super excited about it. But I know I'm going to see something that's going to be value on the pre-show.
Right.
And that's the way I feel about this match.
So, okay, so it's still something that but you still want to watch.
I still want to watch, but
Okay.
I'm not excited about it.
See, I'm excited about it because every time, like the first couple times, I was like, oh, got it again. But
First
they
two
keep
and a
going.
half.
And it's similar to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens fighting all the time. It doesn't fucking matter. It's always good. It's always entertaining, and there's always something new and fresh and exciting about it.
But one thing I love about their matches, they always do their tributes, and they get their Eddie tributes in every match they do.
Which is great, but it's also another reason why I'm okay with this.
No, once again, that's the reason I'm okay with it.
But I'm excited about it. I want to see it. I think it's going to be one of the better kickoff matches that WWE has ever had. Kickoff
Without the
show
New Day in
matches.
there?
Anything, yeah. Next match, Smitty, you're going to be leading this one off. 6-man tag team match. The Shield versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Before we go into the extras and everything like this, let's have a conversation, Smitty. So the Shield reformed on Raw. Roman comes out. He says, he knows what he wants, and there's only one person standing in his way. He goes, and let's bring that man out. It's Seth Rollins. So Seth comes out, and he says, look, I understand what it's like to give up a title that you never lost. If you're saying that you want to be involved in this, if there's anything I could do for you, I'll do it. And Roman says, anything? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, well, that's good, but that's not what I want. I don't want a shot at the belt, which swerved everybody.
It swerved everybody because everybody really thought like Roman's back, they're going to throw him right back into the title picture.
And he's like, nope, I want you to face Brock Lesnar. I'll help you, make
Any way I
plans
can,
and everything. I can for that. He goes, but what I want to do.
After you get it, give me a shot, pretty much.
No, he didn't say that at all.
Well, that's why I interpreted it.
You can interpret anything you want. He did not say that. But he did say that he wants to get the band back together. And he wants to have the Shield have one more run.
They all know Ambrose.
Obviously, this is being based on the fact that Ambrose is allegedly leaving. So, Seth goes, I don't know, all this, blah, blah, blah. And they go, okay, fine. If that's what you want, I'll do it. Dean comes out because they call Dean out, and then Elias blasts him in the back with the fucking guitar. So they go to try to help him out. He kind of pushes him off a little bit. Roman finds him in the bowels of the fucking place where they are. Roman says, "Hey man, you know, we have a
We're past
locker room
this
now. You can go ahead. You can come with us if everything. You should do this." And he's like, "No, I got to do this myself. I don't want to do that." Walks away. Seth goes and talks to him, and for some reason, him and Seth are soulmates, I guess.
We're wrestling soulmates in the ring.
Whatever. Dudes don't talk like that.
Cringeworthy.
So Dean was like, "I got to do this myself. Bye." And he goes and he fights Elias
And loses.
And then, of course, Dean and Roman and Seth come out and they start
console
talking,
him.
and they're trying to get him. And he goes, "No, I'm not doing it." He walks away and he goes up the steps. And then, of course, Baron's music hits. Him and Jim McIntyre and Bobby Lashley come out, and they
no Leo Rush.
no Leo Rush because he got fucked
I know.
up. If you pay attention to Instagram and stuff, all the ice on him. And everyone's like, "Oh no, is Dean gonna come back?" Well, fuck yeah, of course Dean comes back, and Dean runs down.
And they do the fish, triple fish.
And,
The
they
triple
fight
fist.
him off, and then Seth and Roman are trying to get him to do the fist, and then, of course, Dean's in. He's like, yeah.
Somebody's pussy got blew out with a triple fist.
What are your thoughts on this, man?
It's a last minute. It's one of those last, like, Roman's Sutton coming back. Is this something to try to get either Dean to stay, or is just something to try to pull a out of the ass match for Fastlane, for something nobody really cares about in Fastlane?
You don't think people care about the Shield coming back?
We'll say no. The Shield reunion is a reason for you to care about Fastlane.
Oh.
That's my whole point.
Do you think that this was a really wonky storytelling? Do
Oh,
you feel
100%.
So what do you think they could have done differently to at least knowing that it's on short notice? Let's not argue and make it seem like this could have been much better elongated. Let's not even argue. Let's not even bring in the fact that 3 weeks ago Dean wanted help from Seth, and then all of a sudden was wondering why they had help the next week.
Well, that goes into my whole point, like, because Dean's booking since the whole announcement he's leaving has been wonky. No matter what you talk about, no matter how you look at it, his book has been wonky, and that's one of the reasons he said he's leaving the company. And they've done nothing about that. So why would he stay? And this is the one thing you could probably give him to try to.
I'm
convince him to
talking
stay.
about this right now in the last 2 weeks. This show, even this 1 week, for the building of the Shield to come back. Is there anything that you would have done differently?
I don't think there's anything they could have done differently. Like, once again, Dean's booking has just been.
There's
up and down.
nothing. You don't think there's anything they could have done differently that would at least make this seem more logical?
Unless you get
Because
Dean
I
a full
do.
face turn.
No. All right, let me ask you a question. Who did Dean screw over right when Roman left?
Seth.
Okay. So he made mentions, had conversations about Roman's cancer, right? Roman's obviously said, "I've seen past, I got to forgive. We got to move on. Last day, so on and so forth." So Seth has been screwed over the most by Dean consistently since they left. Why did they have to talk Dean into being in part of the Shield? And it wasn't Seth that had to be talked into being in the Shield the entire episode. Like, Dean could have come back and been like, "You know what? You're right. I fucked up. I screwed up. I'm down. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll give it one last ride." And Seth should have been spoken to the entire episode about coming back.
Because the way they've been building Seth at this point, Seth has been the babyface of Raw for how long now?
But it doesn't matter. Why would you, as a good guy, want to go and fucking team up with someone who screwed you over left and right? It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. The logic says I wouldn't want to trust this person.
If that's the case, you just should have had Roman trying to appeal to both of them and just both of them being like, no, if that's the case, for the last 2 weeks. Until they both come together to try to save Roman. That would have been the best way if you want to book it that way. Because all the bad blood between the Shield is not against Roman. It's between Seth and Dean, right?
Right, and that's why I'm saying, like, let's say Roman had Dean come out first. And he goes, look, man, I heard what you said about me. I know what you did the night I retired. I dealt with that. He goes, but I see things differently. Now, I've had time to reflect. I know I don't want to, so on and so forth, pass away without getting things right. I understand where you were coming from. You were upset. You were hurt. A lot of emotions. I forgive you. But I want to try and get this band back together. Will you put aside your problems to do this for me one last time before you leave or whatever they say? Because obviously they made mention of him leaving on commentary. Dean would have had been talking to a little bit for that, but eventually, yes. Same thing as Seth. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. All right, fine. Shield. Fists. Up asses.
Open vaginas.
Then they call Seth down, and Seth comes out. And maybe the fucking thing happens where Seth gets hit, or it doesn't. Or he's talking, and someone runs in the ring and hits Dean, right? And you don't get that message. He just comes down and help out. So then later, Roman goes to talk to Seth. Hey, I know you didn't get a chance, blah, blah, blah. Seth kind of says what Dean says, right? Then Dean and he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I could trust him. He says, blah, blah, blah. And then Dean says, look, man, I've been trying to make amends with the last couple of weeks. I was wondering where you were, so on and so forth. He goes, we're wrestling soulmates. Holy fuck, he doesn't say that. But obviously something different, right? Something completely different. And Seth's like, I can't. And then it's Seth at the end that puts his fist in the middle as the third person, right?
That's what she said.
So to me, that makes more sense.
So you say it makes more sense to put Seth in the Ambrose position.
Right. Because the dude has been screwed over for all this time. Dean was doing the screwing, right? He was the one fucking with Seth.
And beforehand,
so why would Seth be so easily talked into teaming with someone again that has constantly screwed him over? And why does the person have to be talked into it when he's the one's like, fuck you?
Okay, if that's the case, like, you go back to my original idea, like, just the whole episode should have been Roman trying to convince both of them.
I would have liked that too. You're right. I would have done that. Him constant backstage vignettes.
Constant backstage vignettes.
And then in the middle, then Roman's like, come on. And then maybe Dean first.
And at that point, it would have had to be Roman taking a beat down from all three of them and both of them coming out.
Yeah.
To kind of unify them.
Yeah, one of them and then the last. You're right. Because, look, we knew it was coming from a mile away.
You knew it was coming from a mile away, but but your whole point is it's been this wonky, shitty build.
Yeah.
For this whole
For this one, it's like, man, there were so many more things you could have done. Similar to things we're going to get into a little bit later. So let's make your first. Shield versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush. 3 extras. Pin, submission, counter, or DQ. Who makes the fall? Who takes the fall?
Got the Shield winning by pinfall. Roman Reigns pins Baron Corbin.
All right. I don't have that. I have Baron, Drew, and Bobby going over. I have it by pinfall.
Is it because the rumored Corbin
Nope.
Reigns match at Mania?
Ew.
No, that's the rumored match for Roman's singles return at pay-per-view.
Oh, God, I hope not. Pin. Who makes the fall? I'm going to go with Drew. Who takes the fall? Roman. I feel like I just switched. You know what? No, I'm going to go Baron. But not because of what you said, and I'll get into mine in a second. Nick has the Shield going over by pinfall, Roman pinning Corbin. I have Shield losing because, yes, Des, Seth is the sad ex-girlfriend. I think it's going to be Roman versus Dean at Mania, and I think Dean turns again, and he just goes pure heel. I don't think they're getting rid of this Dean heel character.
Now, I think Dean literally lays down for McIntyre possibly at Mania.
You're right. It's really McIntyre.
They're eventually going to build McIntyre to be one of the top heels on Raw.
Yeah, but I think a better return match for Roman, singles match, is Roman versus Dean. And it plays into all the past with the cancer and stuff. Like, I want to look past it, but you fucked me over personally now. So now I have to take care of my aggression on you. One, still a high-profile match.
Anything to do with Roman right now is
Roman
gonna be a
versus
quick
Baron
build.
Corbin is not a high-profile WrestleMania match.
In WWE's mind, anything with Roman is a high profile.
No, I refuse. No, but it doesn't. No, because you're gonna tell me that you think if they put Roman versus Leo Rush at WrestleMania, it's gonna be a good
They're gonna
sell.
put it somewhere in the middle of the card.
That's fine, but he's got to have a great opponent to be in the middle of the card, and he's gonna be facing Dean Ambrose.
And Baron Corbin is one of the biggest heat draws on Raw right now.
Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, book it, WrestleMania.
$5 bet.
I'm down with that. $5.
$5 bet.
All right. Next, singles match: Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. If Charlotte wins, Becky's out of WrestleMania for sure. If Becky wins, she is added to the Raw Women's Championship match, and it's a triple threat: Ronda Rousey defending her belt against Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. What the fuck did they do? What did they do?
Walkie Bookie.
Everything that was fucking great about this week ago.
They killed it.
They fucking came all over it. But the problem is they didn't come all over it with anything good. This isn't good cum.
They
This
R.
is
Kelly.
bad
It's
cum.
R.
This is
Kelly
R. Kelly
cum.
cum. This is R. Kelly and Michael Jackson cum combined.
Hey,
It's
leave Michael Jackson out.
combined. Combined.
It's Kevin
They
Spacey
fucked
cum.
it up. I'm ranting right now.
This is Kevin
Shut
Spacey
up.
cum.
Listen to me. I'm ranting right now because I'm pissed. Last week on Raw, last week on SmackDown, you had me feeling that this week of wrestling was going to be spectacular, WWE. You fucking did it. You had Vince McMahon come out and take Kofi out of the fucking match.
Fuck you, Vince.
So everything made
Because he's
sense.
black.
It made sense. He fucked Becky. He fucked Kofi. Same time. Same time. No lube. And then the son of a bitch says, this is what's best for business. You had Stephanie and Shane, Stephanie and Triple H both times looking like, what the fuck is going on? They can't change it because Vince McMahon is the man. And what he says goes. They have no power over him at all. Until this week.
Right now. I love it.
Until this fucking week, all of a sudden, Stephanie comes out and talks to Charlie Caruso and says, oh, we're going to do this.
I love Caleb Braxton.
Whatever. Who the fuck ever. One of the fucking people that they talk to in the back. Not anyone serious. Not a real meeting. Not anyone else. Stephanie coming from a fucking locker room
This
going,
says the McMahon family, by the way.
we're just gonna go ahead and lift this suspension, and because
Long as she pays.
and because Ronda dropped the title, we're gonna make it a Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair at Fastlane.
As long as she's
Shut up, Smitty. I'm muted, bitch. Yeah, nothing.
I'm loud, asshole.
No, it doesn't work. Anyway, so she comes out and says something fucking stupid like that. What about McMahon? What about Vince McMahon? What the fuck about Vince McMahon's idea? There's no talk about it anymore. It's gone. It's fucking gone. They don't even say, well, I talked to my dad. Not, I talked to my fucking, you fucking kidding me? Nothing. Fucking nothing. He comes out and says, I'm the man. I make the decisions that are best for business. Kevin Owens. Charlotte Flair.
One thing.
Hold on. I can't fucking fathom why this was the, you know what's a really good idea? This is what they said in creative. Someone fucking said this and they were like, yep, that's perfect. Vince was like, oh, it makes so much sense. It makes no goddamn sense. Vince McMahon had fucked everyone. Everyone.
It goes to your continuity thing.
And nobody rebelled when it happened. And then all of a sudden you can now?
That goes in your. Remember I say you overthink a lot of things when it comes to WWE? You got to simplify things. Overthinking some stuff, especially when it comes to like stuff like Vince.
Vince McMahon has brought us some of the greatest moments in wrestling.
100%. There's no doubt about it.
Vince McMahon is one of the smartest men in wrestling. Sorry, he is. There's a reason
not denying
WrestleMania
it.
35 is coming. But people are going to be, love you guys, but there's people are going to be pissed about this. But Vince McMahon has brought us things like WrestleMania. He has brought us things like Shawn Michaels. He has brought us Austin. He has brought us The Rock. He has brought us Hogan. He has brought us DX. He is a great mind. But right now,
Out of touch.
no, this isn't out of touch. This is not out of touch. Because if it was out of touch,
Becky and Kofi wouldn't be where they are.
right, he swerved for them. And look, Kofi's getting his Mania moment. We know, and the end of this is Becky's gonna fucking get her Mania moment. Kofi's gonna get a Mania moment. That's the end game of this, is to make all the fans go, holy shit, we went through all of that for this. It makes all of it better. But me, I don't think so. You are a show that is supposed to entertain people consistently. Things are supposed to make sense. Like you said, the continuity.
That's your thing, the continuity.
No, that is fucking everyone's thing.
It's a
because
big
if
thing.
you can't pay attention to something from last week to the week before, and all of a sudden it's fucking different and makes no sense, why am I following this story? I don't go to movies because I fucking love the ending of the fucking movie. Oh, I know my hero's gonna win, so it's gonna be great. No, some of the best
journey.
movies I have ever fucking watched don't have the hero winning at the end. Empire Strikes Back.
Boom!
Infinity War.
Infinity War, yeah.
Nobody won, man. They all gone, half of them.
Yeah.
Luke gets his hand cut off and has to be rescued and shit. It's goddamn ridiculous. We have
towers.
nothing. We have no. Anyway, I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying no. It's fucking dumb that I can't follow this. And if I can't follow this in a linear, okay, this happened because this happened back then. This happened now because this happened a week ago. If I can't do that, I don't care about this thing anymore. I have walked out of movies because it didn't make any fucking sense. I have said this movie sucked because of how shitty the story was. And I don't give a shit about the ending happening the way I want it.
This is also one of the things we also talk about, like, when they do things like this, it's an insult to the intelligence of your fan base. It truly is. It really is.
But it's not just the insult to us, right? Because they're still giving us what we want in a way. Becky versus Charlotte was supposed to be for the title, and then Ronda comes out, and we'll get into that in a second. Because they're still giving what we want in a way, but the problem is everything. It's too convoluted, right? It's
too many dicks inside one vagina.
No, it's, think of an onion, right? How there's layers to an onion and stuff like that.
We're making Shrek references
And that's
now.
fine that there's layers to an onion, but this isn't an onion. This should be a fucking potato. There's the skin that you peel back, and you can do whatever you want with this amazing thing. You can fry it. You can mash it. You can bake it. You can do whatever. This one thing. You're not fucking anything up. The only thing you had to do is peel the skin to get to the potato. To get to that,
and
you don't even need to peel the skin.
You can still use
but
the
if you
skin for
want to
something
take,
else.
if you want to take that, if you want to go that far into it, to which is what they did by removing Becky and stuff like that, they peeled skin back. Now you have this potato. All you have to do, cook it. But they're not. They're peeling more and more.
So now we got a baby dick potato.
And now they're trying to tape the fucking skin back on. Like, shit, we really wanted the skin on this. And then, well, maybe we don't want the skin.
So we got a baby dick potato trying to put skin back on.
It's
what you're saying.
Fucking horrible. I'm scratching my foot. Sorry. Oh, that feels so good.
Baby dick potato. That's a good one.
No, not what I was getting at all. But anyway.
Let's say, you
So
peel
this
too, like, you
lived
peel
me.
too
This
much back.
pissed me the fuck off because of Stephanie coming out and saying that. Because my thought process is, again, if you can say this now, why couldn't you say it last week when Kofi was removed? Why couldn't you say it 3 weeks ago when Becky was
When
removed?
you were in the ring.
That's the problem. All of a sudden now you can do this. You couldn't do this last week or a couple weeks ago, but now you can. Why?
In other words,
what's different?
The only way you can redeem this is if Vince comes out like, why you do this? Why did you do this? And then they rebel at that point. That's the only way you can redeem the story.
Again, but that's another layer. Why? Why do you need to do that? You could have just done that.
CEO.
Let's say, okay, hold on. You could have fucking had a contract signing at Fastlane. Right?
Yeah.
This is a segment. Ronda versus Charlotte, contract signing at Fastlane. Now Becky comes out. Boom. This fixes everything. Vince, you're fucking up. Everyone's there. All the McMahons are there. Vince, you're fucking up. You can't do this. You're done. We're making a majority vote. You said we're all equal. 3-1. You're out. You can't fucking. Becky's in this fucking match, right? So Becky gets on that contract. Then then Tuesday on SmackDown, they go, we already fucking put Vince out because of this. Kofi, you versus Daniel Bryan at fucking WrestleMania. You get your match that was stolen from you. It's gonna be you versus Daniel Bryan, right? That's
So in other words,
it could have led
the story you see is
it could have made sense. Everyone revolting against the guy who was just going nuts with power.
that would have made an easier, better storyline for sure.
To follow and kept up with the week before.
Yeah.
Weeks before. But they didn't. But what we did get at the end of it.
Kevin Owens is fodder.
No, what we did get at the end. Fucking, I don't have a beer. Do you have something I can drink over there?
Yeah, this is fresh open.
Bring
fresh
it
open.
over here. Bring it over here. Oh, Smitty!
Okay, I just fucked up.
You didn't fuck up. You just spilled something. At least we could fucking fix it. We didn't get it out. Pick up those headphones, please.
Headphones.
Nope. The headphones, not the wire for those. The other headphones over. Yep. No. I still need the beer to take a drink, and you're gonna clean that up.
Oh, so the word fodder is now.
So the word fodder is now take a drink. Every time anyone says the word fodder, that's all I wanted. I'm not gonna be drinking on anything. Yeah. Des has finished her picks, and she says she can call in.
Okay.
Smitty, run out and get paper towels and everything like that. Des, if you want to call in, I'm sending you the number now. I think Daniel still has it, but just in case, I just sent you the number. Yeah, so after this, at the end of the night, there's all Becky has to do is sign a no harm agreement or something, yeah, like that. And then she could face Charlotte, and whoever wins is the Raw Women's Champion. Well, fucking Ronda starts coming up. And Ronda comes, she goes, I never fucking vacated my title. I never said I was not the Women's Champion. I said, get your shit together. This is what could happen if it don't. Right now, I wanted Becky. We have Becky. So you got your shit together. So, Stephanie goes, okay, well then fine. If Becky wins at Fastlane, which, even more bullshit. Becky wins at Fastlane, she's in the match. If Charlotte wins, it's a singles match at fucking WrestleMania. Again, apparently the Royal Rumble made absolute no difference if you won or not. So that was kind of bullshit thing. But fucking Ronda then goes into this promo where she says, damn the man, screw the woo,
No more Mrs. Nice Bitch.
bam! And then fucking kicks Charlotte, and then kicks Becky. And oh my God, lays into Becky. Look, we have made, if you've been paying attention to anything on social media, there has been so much back and forth between Becky and Ronda.
That's
To where it finished off with Ronda saying, I don't give a shit what the script says. I'm beating your ass the next time I see you. And Ronda was laying those shots in. Holy fuck, that armbar she first put her in was a real armbar. Becky's arm wasn't turned. It wasn't supposed to bend with. It was bending against. Holy fucking shit. Becky got her ass whipped. Charlotte tried to get back in the ring 2 times. Then finally was like, you know what? Fuck, go ahead, kick her ass. Because I got to face her in fucking 2 weeks and 6 days. I don't give a shit. And, yeah, it was just, it was beautiful. And then after the fucking show, she beat her ass some more.
And also, Becky was in the corner smiling after.
Still smirking, which I loved. She was like, fuck yeah, it's all you bet you got me.
And she also dived into that on SmackDown as well.
Randy said watching you clean is quality entertainment. And with the eye roll emoji. Hey, it's not my fault he spilled the beer. He had to clean it up. It was on the show.
I am a responsible adult sometimes.
Yeah, we don't leave that shit for anyone else. And then we're going to do a real wipe down after the show. But it had to get cleaned up, Randy. Calm down. Jeez. So, anyway. Smitty, how did you feel about that whole promo situation?
The whole promo situation, it was kind of typical until Ronda Rousey. It felt like she finally went off script and tried to be more of herself. And that's the way I kind of felt about it. Like, I've always felt like Ronda's promos were robotic and scripted for the most part. And this is the first promo I've seen where I felt like she kind of came out and was a little bit more of herself.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, another typical Ronda, Charlotte, Becky kind of promo, and then Ronda did what she did, and that was it. It was probably, let's say, it was my second best promo of the night. Let's say my first one was the Triple H Batista thing,
Of course, really good.
and then this one just kind of gave me a little bit more interest. Like, I was already intrigued, and like I said, I already said it was going to be a triple
I have
threat.
another piece of paper you can write on. You don't have to worry about saving that one.
I already said it was going to be a triple threat at Mania.
Are you clean over there?
Yeah. So I originally said it was going to be a triple threat at Mania. My original thing was because Charlotte would get the heat off of Ronda because Becky was so hot at the time.
Has Becky cooled off to you?
No.
Really? You still think she's just big and badass as the last time?
I think she's still
any time
big.
before?
Oh, damn. I did miss a little bit. But it's nothing I can't write over. I think she's still the hottest commodity in WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where, like, even if she's lost a little bit momentum of not being on TV for a week, not even a whole week, give or take, that she's still the hottest thing in the women's division, probably the hottest thing still in WWE right now. Her and Kofi are the hottest things in this company right now. So she's not lost too much momentum, and no matter what you do, she's going to get cheers.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still popping enough to where Ronda is still getting booed when anything that comes down to Becky, or she's getting Becky chants over her. It is the only thing you can really do to her to kind of quell some of the heat getting toward her for Becky.
Sorry, I'm trying to log us into our Skype real quick, too. Nope.
We have a Skype?
That's what everyone calls us on.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, Daz, you're not going to be able to call in. Love, apologize. It's not working. We're going to have Daz. She was going to call and talk and everything. So let's move forward with this, unfortunately. No Dez, but yeah. So Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, pin submission counter or DQ, number of submission finishers plus or minus one. That's obviously the figure 8 or the disarm her. Number of near falls plus or minus one. Obviously, anything that is a 2 count is considered a near fall. And does a crutch get used as a weapon? Yes or no. Rousey interference or distraction? Yes or no.
One question. Is that before or after the... Well, is it, I'm assuming it's during the match.
It's all bell to bell. Every
bell
one
to
of
bell?
these is, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so...
The Rousey interference or distraction, is that what you're asking about?
Yeah, because I got a feeling she's either going to appear during the match or after the match.
Yes, I agree. So I'm leading this one off. Becky wins.
These are all fucking soaked.
I'm trying to see if is it still soaked, dude?
Well, this is not soaked. It's got the corner of this one, which I can
Because it
still
was
see
by the microphone stand?
Yeah.
Lift the microphone stand. Wipe under it.
Yep.
You don't know how to clean, do you?
I usually do everything with equipment I can't really lift.
Oh, okay.
So
Still got to try and get under it, guy.
I don't know, I usually try to get under. I'm just not. I'm just gotten to the use of not being able to lift. Something so heavy I can't lift it.
All right, so Becky wins this one. Submission. Number of submission finishers, I'm going to go with 4. Number of near falls, I'm going to go with 4. Does a crutch get used as a weapon? No. Rousey interference or distraction? Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I wonder if Rousey hits Becky, causing Becky to win by disqualification, putting her in the match.
See, that's one thing I thought about, but I don't think that's going to happen. Like, once again, look,
I'm switching. Becky by DQ.
So via our scorecard history, when I start thinking like this may be something Mikey may pick, I kind of go against it.
Yeah, it makes all the fucking sense in the world. So yeah, I'm switching it up. Becky by disqualification, 4 submission finishers, 4 number of near falls. No, a crutch does not get used as a weapon. You know what? Yes, a crutch get used as a weapon, and yes, Rousey interference or distraction. Nick is next. Nick has Becky by submission, 3 number of submission finishers, 4 number of near falls. No, the crutch doesn't get used, and yes, Ronda interferes. What do you have, Smitty?
So I have Becky Lynch winning by submission. I have 3 submission finishers, 6 near falls. Yes to the crutch being used as a weapon. Yes to a Rousey interference or distraction.
We're just going to kind of run through this real quick because we're coming up in the last half hour of the show, so we'll talk about a few things. Not much, though. Usos versus Miz and Shane McMahon. Pin, submission, counter, or DQ. Who makes the fall? Who takes the fall? Do Shane and Miz physically attack each other? Nick goes first on this one. He has the Usos by pinfall. Jimmy is going to pin Shane McMahon. And no, Shane and Miz physically do not attack each other. Smitty, what you got?
I got the Usos winning by pinfall. Jay pins Shane. Yes to Miz and Shane physically attack each other.
I have the Usos winning by pinfall. Jimmy is going to pin Miz. And I do not think Miz and Shane physically attack each other. I think there might be some pushing and shoving. That's not attacking as far as I'm concerned.
I'm my WWMD theory.
Yeah.
Keeps me in the lead most of the time.
Right. Up next, Smitty, you're going first on this one. Sasha Banks and Bayley defending their women's tag team championship against Nia Jax and Tamina. 3 extras, pin, submission, counter, or DQ. Who makes the fall? Who takes the fall? Smitty, give it
I
to
got
me.
the Boston Hug Connection winning by pinfall.
The Bug Connection.
Then I got Bayley pin Tamina.
Bayley.
Yeah.
All right.
Sasha took the last one. I think they're going to rotate as long as they're winning. Who takes the wins?
All right. I have Banks and Bayley. I have submission. I think so. That means Sasha. And I think it's got to be Tamina.
Listen, basic thinking, dude. They're not going to make Nia look weak against either one of them.
But Nia hasn't looked strong at all in the last
But
couple
she ain't
weeks.
tapped.
She has in the past, but not recently. Next match is a triple threat tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Revival versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. I'm leading this one off, and I think the Revival are going to retain by pinfall. I'm going to say Dash pins Gable. And I think the number of aerial moves, 6. What you got, Smitty?
So,
sorry, wait, Nick's next. So Nick has the Revival as well. Pin submission. He has by pin. Dash is pinning Chad. Weirdo. And 10 aerial moves. Well, that's ridiculous.
No flips, just fists, man. Remember.
What do you got, Smith?
I can have the Revival winning by pinfall. Dawson pinning Gable. 6 aerial moves.
All right. Women's championship match. Somehow, Asuka is around for a pay-per-view, I guess. She's taking on Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville. 3 extras, pin, submission, counter, or DQ. Number of near falls, plus or minus 1. Again, any near falls, a 2 count. And outside interference or distraction, yes or no. Nick's first on this. He has Asuka winning by submission. 4 number of near falls. And yes to outside interference or distraction. What do you got, Smitty?
I got Asuka winning by submission. 2 near falls. And yes, so outside distraction or interference. Because as mentioned, Sonya Deville's out by the ring. So
Well, yeah, for sure. I have Asuka winning as well by submission. 5 near falls, and yes to the outside interference or distraction. Finally, let's talk a little bit about this one. You said it yourself. Kevin Owens was a bright spot for you on SmackDown. You bought into it. You bought into it, even though that he's coming off from being one of the more vicious type of heels when he went for injury. But so you're buying the face turn Kevin Owens.
it's not that I'm buying it. I'm just giving into it more so. We're at this point.
Okay. I'm buying in. I think it made sense how he goes, I spent a lot of time with my family.
But this is what they said about the gimmick. This was the rumor of the gimmick he was coming back with. I think that's why I'm buying into it.
The original rumor, the gimmick he was coming back in
was the everyday man.
The person that fucking sucks at everything. Anti-Mr. Perfect.
Well, the one I was reading was like he's supposed to be just be the everyday man.
Right, which is fine. And that's all good in the hood, G. I'm buying into it because I feel Kevin Owens is one of your best promos in the company, you know? And it was wonderful. Listen to him talk and go off on Daniel Bryan, who was playing into it. That didn't seem scripted
No,
at
they
all.
played off each other
Yeah,
greatly. That's what made it. The only downside was Rowan in the promo.
Why? He doesn't need to say much.
I get he doesn't need to say, but I don't think he didn't have to say anything in this promo.
I'm all right with it. It's not like he said much. You know, sorry.
I get he was trying to get heat with the crowd, tell them to shut up. That was cool. But like this man, blah blah. That's the part I wasn't down with.
Is there any way in hell Kevin Owens goes over on Daniel Bryan?
No.
You think what do you think he is?
Fodder.
Drake, bitch. You can bring it to me if you take your headphones off first.
We got shit on draft at work.
What is it? Bell's Larry's Flamingo Fruit Night. Can't no one hear you? I'm talking. Because you're not on a microphone. Yeah, go over there. Here, you can take it back.
Bell's Flamingo Fruit Fight. It's fruit IPA.
But it's like a kind of sour.
It's like a fruit punch IPA.
Yeah. Makes sense why you love it.
So, Larry's Flamingo Fruit Fight from Bell's, and this
They're not
Fruit
paying
punch
us
IPA.
anything. I put them over. Fuck them. All right, Smitty, you're first.
beer.
4 extras, pin, submission, counter, or DQ, match time, bell to bell, in minutes, plus or minus 1, number of near falls, plus or minus 1. Does Kofi Kingston confront the match winner, yes or no?
Yeah. So I have Daniel Bryan winning by pinfall. I have 22 minutes, 7 near falls, yes to a Kofi Kingston encounter. Confrontation, whatever.
I also have Daniel Bryan winning by submission. Match time, bell to bell, in minutes, I'm going to go with 22. I think there's going to be 7 near falls. And I don't know if Kingston's going to confront the match winner. Obviously, I know he's going to be there to watch. But I don't know about the confronting. I don't know if he's going to be ringside and then someone goes out to... I'm going to go with no. I don't think he gets in the ring. I think he stares from the outside and then Daniel walks off or something like that. If it's even the fucking main event. Up next, I'm going to lead this one off. Announce table destruction. English, Spanish, or other. I have English going. Spanish and other are safe. Smitty. Next is... Oh, I didn't even give off Nick's picks for Daniel Bryan. Sorry, Nick. It's real difficult when people aren't here. I got to stop sounding like I'm taking jabs at people. I'm not. I was literally saying it's difficult. He has Daniel Bryan going over by disqualification. Match time bell to bell in minutes 22. 4 number of near falls and no Kofi Kingston match confrontation. All right, so yes, for announced tables, English is gone, Spanish and other are safe. And Nick has the same thing. English gone, Spanish and other are safe. Smitty, what do you got?
See, my WWMD is not going to work for this one because I have the same thing. The English goes and the Spanish and other survive.
All right. Nick's leading off the unscheduled appearance. 5 people, 5 picks. He has the New Day, Mr. Miz, and Ronda Rousey. What do you got, Smitty?
Okay, so because one of the things, like, unless it's not scheduled on the show, I have backups in case this does not work. So I have Lacey Evans, Ronda Rousey, and the New Day.
Why would none of those work?
Because I know the New Day said they're going to be there.
Yeah, but they're
Not scheduled.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't say anything on WWE.com about them being there.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to go with. But in case the New Day
So
becomes
New Day, who
invalid,
else?
Lacey Evans and Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
But in case the New Day becomes invalid, I have Elias, Balor, and Strowman.
Fair backup with that?
Yep.
All right. I have the New Day, Mr. Miz, and Lacey Evans. And that's it for us. We're going to get the fuck out of here. We're going to take an early day. I'm feeling full because I had an all-you-can-eat crab leg dinner.
And Mikey Liquor's starting to kick in.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go get your own pro wrestling scorecards. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They'll send you to the link. You get your own Fastlane scorecard. Download it at PW Scorecards. You follow us on all of our social media at BDRcast. If you're listening live, you can listen on podcast, Apple Podcasts, or our YouTube page. Just search BDRcast, Breaking Down the Ring on YouTube, and you can watch all of our live shows or on the Apple Podcast. Make sure you guys are rating us 5 stars so we are getting pushed, man. You guys like us. Let's
like
go
a
with
push
it.
with 2 O's.
If you guys like what we're doing, man, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/BDRcast. You can donate monthly. It's a monthly donation thing to put towards, because we pay for this. We pay for this. Nobody else is paying for this. No one pays to put our videos up on YouTube. It is me. It's doing a lot of editing and things like that. So feel free. It's as low as $1, as much as $25. It'd be awesome a month. Whatever you want to give, whatever you can give. Much appreciated. Patreon.com/BDRcast. Thank you so much for listening. We are your ring crew.
Big Dick Smith.
Little Dick Mike. We are out.
Ouch.